So for my birthday last year, I got a thing I didn't know what to do with. It's called a Raspberry Pi, and it's a computer chip. It's basically a small computer. I'm not that good at coding, so I didn't exactly know what I was gonna do with this kind of a thing. I've had it for a few months, played around with it. Nothing really. I haven't done really anything with it, and I had an idea. Well, why don't I make a tablet with it? I mean, I figured if I could make a tablet, it'd be pretty cool. So here's my plan. So it all starts with the Raspberry Pi board. It's gonna be the brain of the thing. It's gonna control everything I'm gonna do with it. So it all starts with that. The next part will of course be the screen. Now the screen, I've ordered it, but it hasn't come yet. The screen has a circuit board of its own, to kind of control the thing. It's a capacitive touchscreen. Most of them were resistive, but capacitive means it's multi-touch, so you can touch it with 2 fingers at once, 3 fingers. It's more sensitive, but it needs a special board to control that. So both boards will have to fit inside the tablet. So screen goes on top. Now, of course, if I want to have a tablet, it has to be able to run by itself. So that's where the battery comes in. I got this for free, and it's a 2600 milliamp hour battery, and this will be what powers my tablet. How it'll work is it'll slide in and out of the case like that, and this will be recharged. And because I have like 2 of these, whenever I run out of juice in the tablet, I pull it out and put a new one in. Now, of course, in my tablet, I can't just have it, the circuit board exposed and the battery exposed and all the wiring exposed. That would kind of defeat the purpose and make it hard to use. And I want to be able to take this places and actually use it. So that's where the casing comes in. I'm just going to use this cardboard box right here to kind of show how it's going to work. But over here will be the Raspberry Pi board. And it will be situated so that I'll have access to these ports on the back, so all the USB will be able to be used. Next, of course, I'm using this to represent, is the circuit board for the touchscreen display. This will go kind of adjacent somewhere, somehow. Of course, the slide-in battery, there'll be a hole on the outside of the case, and slide it in like that. Here's the cable I'm planning to use for the power. It's a little long, but I'll probably end up wrapping it up like this on the inside. Plugs into the board. It's micro USB. I'll anchor this inside the casing so that when I slide it in, it'll power on the board. I haven't said how I'll make the case, so I will use CAD software. I'll make it in CAD, and I'll 3D print it. This is something else I've 3D printed in the past. 3D printing is a cool process because it takes whatever you design in the computer software and turns it into a physical object. So I might end up having to print the case in multiple parts, so maybe one half and another half, maybe in quarters. There'll be 2 parts already to the case. There'll be the bottom part, so the part you'll see from the outside, and then of course there'll be a buffer around the screen. So I won't have the screen laying on top like a few other Raspberry Pi tablets I've seen. I'll have the case wrap around the outside like that. So here's kind of how the setup of the board will go. First, of course, will be the Raspberry Pi. There'll be openings on this side for the USB, and there'll be a cord about right here that'll extend the 3.5mm headphone jack out to here so I can plug my headphones in. This cord will connect to the battery slot, where the battery will be slid in from the outside, kind of like that. Then of course, we'll have the touchscreen control board, and on top of that, we'll have the screen. As a final part to my project, I will try to add like a Bluetooth keyboard as a case. It'll connect to the tablet. If this is the tablet right here, and it'll fold over the display. There'll be a keyboard embedded in it. I don't know how I'll embed the keyboard in it. You know, maybe I'll attach a wired mouse or something, or use the same Bluetooth connection that controls the keyboard to control the mouse and the keyboard as well. That's my plan. Hope it works out.